What's everybody? Well,
By the way, I'm keeping that.
It's that worst I rule, Johnny Wayne Studios. It's that worst I rule, Tune in.
all right. What's up, everybody? This is Aaron Simpson, and I'm here with my boy Jody Rue, and we actually have a very special guest speaker here with us today that we're going to interview, an entrepreneur here in Kansas City, and we're happy to have him on, Flores.
What up, Bo?
What's going on? So we'll get into some topics with him, but again, we just want to start off by thanking all of our listeners that are out there listening to us each week. You know, we bring this to you guys for a reason. We want to, encourage you. We want to be a part of your lives. We want to be able to help you in situations and help change your life. So definitely, if you're listening to us, rate us and share us. And again, we appreciate everything you guys do for us. So we also, as always, have our faithful producer here, Slick Nick.
Slick Nick. Hey, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Double shot.
Our boy Ryan
Espresso.
is missing in action today, so we're just going to go ahead and roll without him. So he had some stuff going on this morning, so we're going to do our podcast here without him today. So anyways, I want to go ahead and get right into it. So, Bo, how long have you been in business? What made you start getting into business? Just kind of tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do. And if you guys are out there, we'll tell you how to follow him on his social media here in a little bit, so you guys can check out what he does as work-wise.
All righty, man. Oh, man. Well, good to see you guys. Good morning. Appreciate the opportunity. Good stuff, especially with Jody being over here. I know I'm getting out of bed. I'm doing the right thing, sir.
Hey, he always says on my Instagram, he's always liking and watching. I always say, if you want to get ahead,
Got to get out of bed.
all day,
And if you want to win,
you better grab a pen.
So, it's in that same vein of thought. So I appreciate the opportunity again, guys. Again, my name is Bo Flores. Yeah, I'm a photographer here in Kansas City. And how did it start, man? I don't even know. I started by necessity initially. I was racing motorcycles at Heartland Park in the CCS Cup, and was racing motorcycles. And through that, I ended up needing sponsorship, needing to meet. Of course, through that, I had to kind of have the girls to provide the look, the aesthetic. So then I needed photographers to get pictures. And next thing I know, I'm over here getting these pictures that were good, but not necessarily what I needed. And so I had to kind of flip the script a little bit. And somebody finally got tired of me complaining about what I was getting and told me to just do it myself. So he gave me a camera, and that was kind of it. Never looked back. So it started through necessity of me, through my own business, needing some sponsors, and then just hung a left with it and just never looked back.
That's crazy. Yes, I mean, you started with one dream or goal, and then that took you into a whole other career path.
Let's talk about direction. All right. I'm 43 right now. I started shooting when I was 36, and by that time I had 42 W-2s in my career.
Wow.
So 42 W-2s, yeah, if you're doing the math, that equals 42 jobs. So I've done it all, seen it all, been there, done it, bought the T-shirt, sold the T-shirt, threw away the T-shirt. It's a wrap. So I've kind of done my living and then moved into transition into what I like to do now. And I didn't even know I liked photography. I'd never even held a camera. I didn't think I was good at it, never had an inkling to do it. I liked motorcycles. I like to go fast. Next thing I know, get into photography. Long story short, a year and a half later, I sold my bike and I bought my camera, and here I am.
Never look back.
Never look back.
nice. I see a lot of your stuff on social media, and it looks like a lot of it is geared around the fitness industry to a certain extent. Is that the only type of photography that you do, or do you do all different types? What's your favorite type of photography?
To be honest, I started with just using friends, of course, just to kind of build my portfolio. And then the fitness side came about because they were aesthetically pleasing. It was just easier to shoot pretty people. So as somebody started to look, they were fit, they looked good, that worked for me. And again, that just made things a little bit easier for me, I guess. And then as I started to progress and learn a little bit more, I didn't necessarily need those perfect bodies to get clean shots. So I was able to step outside of that typical beautiful aesthetic for me to be able to then turn anyone into that beautiful aesthetic. So they didn't necessarily have to be a fitness person. So although I do love fitness, and that's always going to be probably my just the main thing that I'm always going to be working with in shooting, I definitely like the empowerment and just the transition that I'm doing into the other type of shots now.
All of us in this room are entrepreneurs. We're all self-employed. We all wake up with a dream and a vision every single day. We talk a lot about dreams and visions. We talk a lot about, setting goals for your year, daily affirmations, things like that. What is one thing that makes you wake up every single day and we could all go get a job 9 to 5 and work for the man. What makes you every single day want to do your own thing? And what can you, like somebody listening out there that wants to do the same thing, how can you encourage them with that?
Honestly, it just comes down to doing the right thing. I know it sounds kind of silly as an entrepreneur to be able to generate their income and find revenue streams in doing that, but my mantra truly is profit is a product of doing the right thing. So in order to find that, you have to get your clarity in what it is that you want to do. And in order to find your strategy, you need to have your clarity. So I guess at the end of the day, the message is to have what it is that you want to do clear in your head. Without having it clear in your head, you can't push that message out to anybody else, and you can't even do it properly. I also do consulting and coaching for entrepreneurs and some social media management. And so many people come up to me wanting pictures for their social media, and they want pictures for their Instagram, and they're ready for their business, and they want to launch. But yet when I ask them, who's your target market? What's your demographic? What's your mission statement? What's your vision statement? What's your business about? They don't know. All they know is that it's just about the imagery. So
say those again. I think they need to hear that. What's the breakdown list? Because people don't. I think that would give them more of a thought process of why I do what I do. So what did you say again?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's going to be clarity. Knowing what your message is, knowing who it is that you're talking to, knowing what message it is you want to convey to that person, knowing your demographic. So you need to know who it is you're trying to convey that message to, and then having a mission statement and a value statement. So altogether, you're packaging this in such a way where that it's not about somebody coming to your page, because who's going to go to your page? Nobody knows you, right? It's about providing enough quality, period, for somebody to want to come to that page. So at this point, like I said, it's all about clarity. Once you know your vision, you can market that vision to your demographic very explicitly because you have your mission statement and your value statement. Once you get all that together, everything is easy because you know what you need to sell.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it is. And if you guys listen to us at all, you guys always know that I kind of, just like last night at our live podcast event we did, I always kind of bring back, yes, we are here to talk about fitness. We're here to talk about life. But just those things that you were talking about there, just in your business, the vision, the goals, that's life too, and I feel like that's why a lot of people get so off track in life in general is they don't actually sit down and actually do those things in their life. They may not be an entrepreneur. It may not be something that they're even interested in or how their brain works. But if you're struggling just in life in general right now with just focus and whatever that might be, that's also something that's greatly missing just in people in general that could help change their life. As we're going in this new decade, you got the greatest slogan for this new decade. What is it?
2020 vision.
That's right. And if you're going to have 2020 vision, it right now is the time to start setting your goals, start setting your daily affirmations, doing your dream board, and all those different things to where not only if you're a business owner, but, you want to side hustle. You work for the man every day, but you want to side hustle and you want to start a business. That's what we're also wanting to try to do with our podcast too, is help the people out there that are wanting to start their own business on things that they can, things that we've gone through, that we've made mistakes that we can tell you, hey, Dad, don't do that. So
right. Hey, and like you said, 42 W-2s.
Yeah.
It took you 42 different jobs, and maybe even more than that weren't on paper, to find out what your true, genuine passion is. And it wasn't even on your radar at the time, and I've looked at your work, and I can't wait to work with you on some things. He does an amazing job at capturing a person's entire personality. And you already know I got a quote ready right now. This is a heat. And I said this morning to my class. I said, your smile is your logo. Your personality is your business card. How you leave others feeling after an experience with you becomes your trademark. Be cautious of your smile. People pay attention to that. Understand that your personality is going to be a reflection of who you are. A business card. It's going to show everybody what you are, your energy, the vibe you set off when you come into a room. And just know that after you leave that business or that person or whatever it may be, you're leaving a lasting impression, and that's your trademark. What do you want to leave as your trademark? We all understand and know that life is precious and we don't know how many days we get. But when you are getting that ticket punched and it's your time to go, and it can happen whenever, what are you leaving? What's your trademark that you're leaving? And when you find out what your true passion is, it's portrayed very vividly. So we got to be cautious of our smile and our emotions and our actions. Your actions have to match everything else, and if they don't, then you're really just blowing smoke. You know what I mean?
Anybody that follows Bo, I can't get this picture out of my head ever since you said that you're going to do some work with him. I hope it's not the paint over your whole body. I mean, I got this vision of you right now, and I just can't get it out of my head, but the paint just coming all over.
That is your favorite Asian.
That's right.
That'll be all the colors.
The egg roll. But no, back on a serious note too. I mean, that's what you just said is so true. I mean, I think that oftentimes, just in life in general, we kind of lose sight. There is where we got to refocus. I hope that's what this podcast helps with our listeners to do is refocus. I'm a huge podcast listener. I don't even know how many of them I listen to a day. I'm a big motivational listener, speaker guy. It just helps me, any of those times where I'm feeling like I have a lull in my business or whatever, it's typically because I've gotten off track with listening or reading or doing the things that I do daily that helps me move forward.
Right.
So,
I've had a friend that posted up on his page about he had like 7 books that he went and bought. He's like, it's been like 15 years since I picked a book up and read it.
Yeah.
Whether it's fiction or nonfiction, whatever it may be, y'all have to keep that muscle and that memory rolling. Just like working out daily and eating right daily, you need to be reading daily in some way, shape, or form, because if you're not, how are you practicing getting smarter? How are you practicing absorbing information? I mean, I'm sure that you do research on photography all the damn time, right?
Yep, exactly. And it's excuse me, and I love how you put that too. I like the physical metabolism, mental metabolism, and spiritual metabolism. So yeah, just to your point, it's getting everything together and kind of making sure your mind is ready to work with your body, making sure it's ready to work with your thoughts, that you can move forward and do that all together. Yep.
Amen.
So, Bo, from our listeners that are out there right now, I've just heard a podcast the other day talking about, and we had this conversation off air here about me wanting to get my social media and use it more, have it more of a benefit for me and my business and my career. I heard something the other day that talked about the statistics of how much people will like and follow and comment on your posts are drastically higher when your face or your picture is actually in it. Have you seen that in your career? Being somebody that helps people with their social media, how important is it for our listeners out there that want to make a big presence on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it might be to actually have their face, their picture involved in those?
That's a great question. And, right now, to be 100% honest, on my page, I have never put a picture of myself on there, and I probably won't. I'm a photographer, and I post pictures of my work. So to answer that question, it kind of directly associated to what industry they're in.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, with that being said, please understand that I post pictures of myself every day on my story.
Yeah.
Because it's imperative for people to know what I look like. It's imperative to know that I'm a human. It's imperative to know that I have a thought process, or that, they become approachable as opposed to just an intimidating factor of dealing with pretty women.
Yeah, and you keep it real on your story. Like, he'll let you know. If you are one of his clients and you don't show up, he's going to grill you and hold you accountable for it, which rightfully so he should. And like he said, it's both of them. People, it's not just posting a picture. It is having people match your pictures with your personality, and you find a way to still put that out there. So, be raw and real. You got to do you. Energy, it's about doing you. If you can't do you properly, then there's no way you can do anything else.
So, we talk about passion, and actually, Aaron, you had mentioned earlier that, regarding those goals and getting 2020 set up. And I just wanted to put out there for the listeners also that in this room, we're heavy entrepreneurs, so that's what we do, and that's what we've planned. And you may not be that way, and that's okay, and it's not too late either. So just understand that you have outlets, and you have networks, and you have resources, and if you just even click through the links on the people who are on this podcast, you have 3 of them right here, for example. So don't feel as though you're behind in something because you haven't done it yet, but at the same time, don't sit back and not do anything because you haven't done it yet. Get your butt off your shoulders and get moving, because nobody's going to pay the bills but you.
That's right. And I say it all the time. I'm 41 years old, and I thought by this time in my life I would actually know what I want to do when I grow up.
Right.
I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up.
Exactly.
So,
because man.
I know, because I always want to be challenged with something new. I've been blessed in the gym world. I've been blessed in the insurance and financial service and mortgage world, but for me, that's not the limit. Like you always say, the sky's not the limit. My limit isn't this. So I challenge myself every single day. My mind's rolling every day. I have all these new different things that, what else is out there? What other possibilities are out there? But, like you said, it's not everybody's vision to be an entrepreneur. But everybody in life, going back to the whole thing where it comes back to age, I feel like a lot of people get almost down on themselves because they still don't know their purpose in life. Your purpose in life doesn't have to be your career. You know, where I'm blessed with, I feel like my purpose in life is my career. You know, I'm able to get in the gyms every day and bless people's lives and be a part of their life. That's unusual. You know, we all get to do what we want to do every day, and it's almost like our dream jobs. Yeah, I would have loved to have been a pro athlete, but that wasn't my purpose. My purpose was something different. But if you're listening out there and maybe your purpose might be just to volunteer at a dog shelter 2 days a week, but yet you've been telling yourself you don't have time. Well, 2020 is coming. You know, I literally listened to a podcast or a YouTube video this morning from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That one that the super pot, like people like said, it changed my life listening to this one.
Yeah, it's called like Sleep Faster, because he literally talks about how there's 24 hours in a day. If you sleep 6 hours a day, that gives you 18 hours a day to do the rest of your work. Let's face it, we work 8 hours a day, maybe 10 at the most, so then that still leaves us a whole bunch of time the rest of the day. So all the excuses of, well, I don't have time to go volunteer, I don't have time to work out, I don't have time to read, I don't have time to do a podcast. Hey, I'm not a book reader either, but I guarantee you the knowledge that I take in from podcasts is just crazy amount.
Yeah, that's still a way of reading. Your mind is having to absorb what you're listening to, and you put it in to your own thought process and allow to apply that into your daily life. You know, and I got something for everybody that, you know, it's the holidays. Right now we're all worried about Christmas shopping. Well, I wait till like the day before. I haven't started either. But we all are in this shopping mentality right now. This you know, basically like a shopping spree. I got a challenge for all the listeners. How about y'all go on a living spree? Spree.
That's what's up.
You know, we're all able to go on a shopping spree and buy all this stuff that we might not even need. I know right now it's a time for giving. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to get gifts for people. I love giving gifts for my family. I just wait till the last minute to find out what I want to do. But we can't be last minute about living. You can't be last minute about living. We need to go on a living spree right now. People, think about what you could accomplish if you literally just went out of the house. Instead of just saying, I'm going to sit back and lay back and relax for a little bit. We all need that downtime. But I think we all need to, if you have an opportunity to go on a trip, go on a trip. Like you said before, you know, you felt kind of bad about not going to Florida, you know, because you didn't want Mom Schnizzle to be like, hey, you're on the beach while I'm back home working. But, you know, we all need that time away. And if you have a time to get out and live, go do it. If you can go out for a walk, go do it. If you can go and just have a cigar with the boys, go do it. If you can just go and just sit at the library in peace and quiet when nobody's distracting you, go and do it. It may not be skydiving, but you're living by doing those things, you know? So find more ways to live, because we all go into autopilot and just do the day-to-day crap, and we get lost in what we've been doing, and it doesn't make us happy, and we wonder why we're down on ourselves.
Yeah. And, you know, and bringing it back to having Bo here, you know, if you need a challenge for 2020, schedule an appointment with Bo to do a photo shoot. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to be ripped. It doesn't mean that you have to be a fitness competitor. Just go get the motivation that's going to come from just knowing that, hey, March 15th, I have to meet Bo. It'll change your life. All these goals that you've ever had as far as in fitness or healthy living that you've struggled with. We talk about this so much on the show, but people are afraid to spend money on themselves when it comes to their health and fitness. If you've done the meal plan before, you know, and maybe that wasn't the trick that helped you, maybe schedule an appointment with Bo and actually setting up a photo shoot is going to be the thing that in 2020, it could change your whole entire decade because of how you start off 2020 with the motivation that comes from just doing a photo shoot. And like I said, you don't have to be stage ready. Just go get some, you know, there's the work that he does is so stinking cool just from every, you know, I'm not a photographer, so I don't know the language, but just every, you know, your setup, your color schemes, just the way that you make anybody look on there. I mean, it's unbelievably cool.
I think what you're talking about is face the fear.
Right, exactly.
Challenge yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about. I love your acronym for fear, by the way, which that you've done it a few times on the show. But I think that's what you're talking about is get face that fear and get through it.
I wore a shirt last night on purpose in our live event. I don't know if anybody noticed, but it said faith over fear, you know, right on the front of the shirt. And I specifically picked it out just because I was hoping people in the audience would see it and just kind of go, oh, that's cool. So, yeah.
You know, and to your point, too, I have a lot of athletes who actually book shoots now not compete. So to your point, as far as just having a date, having a goal, having something to work towards, and where it's not necessarily where you have to be on stage where you're comparing yourself to 30 other people. It's literally you've put in the work. It's you versus you. It's your outcome. It's you at the end of the day. So that's what we're capturing. It's not you sitting in front of 12 judges and them going to tell you how you're doing. It's like, no, you've put the work in. This is how you've done, and I'm going to capture that shot to make you, to look
For sure.
I got ready for a shoot here, not this past August, the August before, and it was awesome because I did it with my wife. She literally showed up that day, wasn't planning on taking a photo, hadn't been prepping for it. I literally started on a Monday at 2:29, and by Friday morning I was 2:10. Not drastic, not doing anything stupid, just overloading my body with water and then cutting water out. So I depleted all the water out of the system. She literally showed up on the day, took photos with me, and it is one of my favorite pictures. It's hanging in my office. One of my buddies, David, gave it to me for my birthday, and it's a blown up picture of her and I. And that's also something that's a memory and a moment that my wife and I will always have, and that's a picture that I cherish. So that even just couples that are out there listening to us, what a cool gift to give each other for Christmas is do a couples photo with each other too. So
for sure. And then my roomie, the other Dodie, she did the same thing. She scheduled.
Yeah, she's got one coming up.
Yeah, but she did it way in advance. She has a goal on what she wants to do, and she's not getting these pictures to put it out on social media. She doesn't want any kind of recognition from other people to make her feel good about herself. She wants it for herself, so everybody out there, that, like Aaron said, if you want to reach a goal, put yourself under the fire, hold your own damn self accountable. We can't always just depend on other people to hold us accountable. We always say find an accountability partner. Sometimes you're not gonna, sometimes an accountability partner is going to come along because they see how awesome of a person you are and how hard you're working towards your goal, that they want to be a part of it. That's how you need to do it, because it's not always going to be something that just falls in your lap. If life was that easy, we'd all have everything that we want and not have to work or earn it. And you know what? I wouldn't want it any other way. This year was the first year that I was able to buy a dependable vehicle. I mean, not even lying. When I graduated high school in 2003, I bought a brand new 03 Ford Focus. I drove that damn thing for 12 years until the wheels fell off. I'm talking, this was not a date mobile. Both the door handles is broke, that I had to open the hatch and crawl through the hatch if the windows weren't cracked to get in. I wasn't taking no girls out on dates. I wasn't confident. That car got repoed. I hit rock bottom. I woke up thinking, oh, where's my car at? Knowing damn well I couldn't pay the car note. I was struggling. I still had like 3 jobs at the time, but still couldn't afford it. I wasn't the best with my money. We all have our problems. Then after that, got into my grandpa's old truck. R.I.P. to Pawpaw Roo. I had a 03 Red. I drove that thing for over 200,000 miles.
Until the wheels fell off too on that one.
The motor blew on it.
I was following him down the road, and all of a sudden he turns off, and I was like, uh-oh, what happened?
It's dead.
And he's like, man, it's dead.
It's dead. I'm talking blew the motor. But yeah. I went through those struggles, people, and I'm telling you that those struggles made me appreciate what I'm driving right now. And it's not just about material things. It's the work that I put in to get to the point to be able to say, I went and paid for that cash. And it's the best feeling. I don't owe nobody for it. I worked my ass off for it. And I got something that's going to help my business and help me keep going in motion. And that's what we have to do. We have to set a goal. We have to know that whatever struggles we go through to get to that point are not for nothing. Okay? Right. Those are not things that aren't necessary. It is necessary to struggle in order to get to where you want to be. Regardless of the fact that we want to admit that or not, it is how it has to go. And if not, why are we working so hard for?
That's right. Bo, what would be one thing that you would have for a piece of advice out there for somebody who is where you were at whenever you said you had 42 W-2s and you just took that leap of faith? We've all kind of shared our story over the years of how, we took that leap of faith and we were scared and we just did it. So what would you say would be a big piece of advice that you can tell somebody that was in your shoes?
Right now it's just a different age, to be honest, also. So when I was I'm 43 right now. So when I was coming up, there were a lot more jobs to be had. There were a lot more things that didn't involve technology. I didn't even have a cell phone till I was 18 years old. I didn't have, I was walking around with a pager. That's just what it was. So there weren't the initial distractions that we have now. Yeah. So in reference to what direction to go to now, I just say follow your heart, as silly as that may sound, because there's not a set job anymore. Nobody wants to grow up to be a doctor. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? There's more to do besides that now, right? Because you're going to do that. There's an entrepreneur. You're not going to just want to be the surgeon. Now you want to be the surgeon who's doing this and this and this, and you're going to do this, and it's just more to it. So At the end of the day, just be clear as to what message you want to convey to people. For example, I'm a photographer, but that's not my passion, honestly. My passion is helping people and conveying messages and helping people grow. I'm just able to do that via my photography. Whenever I work with somebody, I sit down with them before we even shoot. I get to know them. I get to know what it is that they want to get out of the pictures. I can't take a picture of somebody and get what they want out of that image without knowing what they want. So I have to talk to them, see where they're coming from. It turns into a counseling session sometimes, honestly.
But I'm sure it does.
It just gets to be very real, and that's how I'm able to capture a little bit more of the raw emotion from the people. So again, it all comes down to just follow your heart and to not let anything that you may see, read, or hear sway you. You know, everybody walks around with a piece of technology in their hand, and unfortunately that piece of technology, it may weigh 5 ounces, but it weighs 100 pounds in your heart. You know, and people can't let go of that. So to Jody's point, you know, he said live. That's true. Live. Go live. Please go do things. But when you're living and you're doing things, put the phone down, though. Otherwise, you're not doing it. You're defeating the purpose. Go to the library and read.
real.
True. But put the phone down. Go to the park and look around, but put the phone down. Go hang out with your girl, but put the phone down, you know, because with that phone in your hand, you're just losing the opportunity that you have for the moment in front of you. So again, I guess just follow your heart and stay true to the moment.
Man, the put the phone down thing is key for me too, because I have a problem. You know, I get 1 hour of my day to go work out. During that 1 hour, I should be able to put my phone down and not care who's texting, who's calling. If the gyms are on fire, the fire department's going to get there before I will. You know, so it's, you know, that's something that I know I need to work on this coming year, is not being distracted. I don't have a problem at home with it. You know, I feel like I've told my staff to, I'm reachable till 8, unless it's an emergency. After 8 o'clock, you know, I'm out. You know, I'm not going to probably respond to a text until 8 in the morning either, you know, unless it's an emergency. So I don't have a problem with that at home. You know, I feel like my time when I get there with my wife, I want to go brain dead. I want to be able to, even if we're just both sitting in the room together, we're not even hardly saying a word together, but it's just that time we have with each other to where, yeah, that phone's not a distraction. So I think that is something that we talked about it last night, you know, just how much screen time that people do every single day, but then they complain about not having enough time to do other things. But it's like, you literally, I think last night, the statistic we threw out there was 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours in 2018 is what they predicted people were on social media each day. Was it social media?
That's insane.
Mine was 6 hours and 11 minutes, bro.
So Jody pulled up his screen and showed us that, and then I was like, dude, that's why whenever sometimes, like even Amy the other day, she's like, I've texted Jody all day, and I know he's been on Facebook. I know he's on this.
Got me.
So yeah.
Oh man, but it's real, you know. And I mean, obviously, being an entrepreneur and the things we do, we market ourselves, we brand ourselves. You're always putting content out because, like I said earlier, followers equal dollars. You know, the more you put out, the more your face is in front of people, the more your artwork is in front of people, the more your gym information is in front of people, the more your podcast information is in front of people, the more your business will grow. So you have to put that out there, but pick and choose when you do that, you know, and we really do have to have that human interaction, not just cyber interaction. All right. As humans, we need that. You know, I'm a loving guy, and everybody knows at the gym that I work at, I hug everybody. Not everybody's a hugger. So but it's just that the passion to do it and be willing to do it, and people know that you're not being fake about it. Just be real about everything you do, because people can smell and see crap from a mile away just by the feel of it, by the vibe you put off, and by the image that you portray for yourself. So yeah, just do what you need to do to brand yourself, and do it in a timely manner, you know.
Excellent. Well, we're going to go ahead and finish off here. But, Bo, before we do, any last words? And also tell everybody how they can start following you and how they can get a hold of you on social media and other networks.
Plug it, bro.
That's right. That's right.
Here comes the plug.
Hey, but you got to plug it with the sexy voice, though. Do it. Come on, give it to him. Yeah, come on.
He's fighting a cold.
I'm being put on the spot.
I threw you on the, I'm sorry, bro.
Lost my sexy voice.
He honestly didn't even know he was coming on with us until about 10 minutes after he's sitting in the room.
Hey,
with
and
us,
I did, before you say that, and this goes in, like, you know, he showed up because he's actually in the process of wanting to try and start his own podcast. True. Not knowing that he was going to jump on and be on this show. People, that's what I'm saying. If you have an opportunity to be somewhere, go and do it. He did not know that when he showed up this morning that he was going to be in on the show. He thought he's going to be in to listen, to get information, to start something that he wants to do to help more people. His real passion is to help people. So, people, when I tell you this, and you've heard it before, if there's an opportunity that knocks on the door, you better open that damn door and at least check it out and see what's happening, because then you put yourself in a winning position.
That's right. And also to plug our boy over here, Slick Nick. If you're in the area and you're wanting to start a podcast, come check it out with us sometime. Meet Nick. Nick can get you in the right direction to starting your own podcast. He obviously does ours. If you like ours and you like the way it's produced, that's what he does too. So definitely check out Nick as well. But Bo, go ahead and take over here.
FrederickReed.com.
There you go.
What is it again? I'm going to need that also.
FrederickReed.com.
All right, there you go.
The Fredcasts Network.
Perfect. Nice. I like it. Oh, there you go. I see it on the TV. Perfect. So, yeah, Jody, and to Jody's point, that was perfect. To be honest, I came here this morning, as he mentioned, to get some information, just kind of get the vibe for a podcast, the same way you would kind of want to do your homework for doing anything. And the opportunity popped up. I almost actually canceled because I have to leave to Puerto Rico tomorrow, and I have so much to do today. I truly just don't have time. But you know what?
You made time.
I do. I do have that 90 minutes, and I'm glad I showed up. I'm glad I came here, and it turned out to be a phenomenal opportunity. So as he mentioned,
showing up is half the battle.
That's it. Just get there. So to find me, again, my name is Bo Flores. You can find me on Instagram at Bo Flores Photography. Same thing on Facebook, Bo Flores Photography, and my website, boflores.com. I'm just going to leave you guys with a simple message of maintaining to do yourself, regardless of what that is. Whether you sell lemonade, whether you walk dogs, whether you take care of old people, it doesn't matter. Pick up trash. Just maintain your clarity with your vision. Make sure you have your message straight. Make sure that it is, who you're talking to. And never forget, love in your heart, right? Open heart, open mind, and it'll work, I promise.
Wow, that's awesome.
Thank
nice
you
work
so
there,
much, bro.
And I think you're a natural. I think you got this.
You
got
do.
the hang of it
Hey,
too,
when you do your first podcast, we got to be special guests.
I'm going to do it right down here, I think.
Yeah, baby.
Right on. Well, hey, guys, we appreciate you listening again. Again, share this podcast on all your social networks that you guys are on. Tell your friends about us any way you can. Rate us. And again, we appreciate everything you guys do for us. Again, hit us up on our Facebook page, Shred Podcast. If you got questions, topics you guys want to bring up. If you want to be a guest and you think you got something that you can bring to the listeners of our show too, shoot us up. Let us know. Jody, got any words? Nick? Anything?
We're good.
All right.
Hey, go on a living spree, baby. Go on a living spree and see how your life changes. Take that momentum that you do right now and let that take you into the right direction into the 2020, all right? I love you guys. Bye.
Peace out.
Toodles.
You have been listening to Shred with host Ryan Waters, along with Aaron Simpson and Jody Rue. The Shred Podcast is produced by Nick Parker and the Fredcast Network. Subscribe to Shred on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or most any of your favorite podcast apps. Have a topic, idea, or question for Ryan and the gang? Connect with us on Facebook at Shred Podcast.
Ooh, if you don't know, now you know. This that words not rude. Too fresh, too clean. In your mouth like Listerine. Swish swash, swish swash. Ooh.